You want to have more people looking at your Instagram stories, but you're not doing this? Well, that's why you're not getting more views. Inside this video, I'm going to tell you all the tips and tricks in order to get more views on your Instagram stories and even more sales. Hello, welcome to your go-to channel for anything in regards to digital marketing for your online business. Today, we're talking about those handy dandies, you either love them or you hate them, Instagram stories. So, what's going on with Instagram stories? Why are you getting less and less views on them? And what can you do to turn that upside down? Let's start by talking about what even are Instagram stories. What are you supposed to be posting on Instagram stories? Well, Instagram stories are natural, they're organic. It's a way for people to know who you personally are. If you're starting to see a decrease in your Instagram stories, then I want you to tell me if you're putting your face on there or if you're using stock photos. If you're using stock photos, I want you to start using your face. So let's walk through what actually happens when somebody's looking at an Instagram story. Well, when you feel like you relate to that person, you feel connected. When you feel connected, you feel like you want to know more of their story, know more of what's going on. What happens when you want to know more? Well, you end up watching more. That's exactly what happens. And hey, tell me if you follow some people that you're just like, I feel hooked to their stories. I don't know what they're doing, but they have me hooked. Whatever they're posting, I'm there watching and watching and watching. Even if they have 1,000 little stories, I'm there watching and watching and watching the whole story. That's because you feel connected and you relate to that person for X or Y reason. So what can you do in order for your audience to feel the same way, to want to watch your stories, to want to click on it, and to want to do that swipe up? And don't worry if you don't have those 10,000 subscribers to have the swipe up. It's just a little gimmick. It's a feature. You can still have less than 10,000 followers, even 100 true loyal followers, and get them to purchase from you, get them to go to where you want them to go, and get them to take action. And here's how. Number 1, feel confident on camera. If your stories are getting less and less views, it's probably because 1, you're not using your face, and 2, if you are using your face, you're kind of showing up like this, like, hey, guys, I grabbed my coffee today. No, you need to show up confident on camera, and this video right here will tell you all the tips to be able to do it. Number 2, you need to be consistent. Yes, it's cool if you show up on a story randomly and a lot of people watch it because you've never showed up before, but you're a business, and your business, in order to get more views, more sales on Instagram stories, you need to show up consistently. People have to want to be, kind of interested in who you are. They have to feel that connection. And we can't feel that connection if you never show up on Instagram stories. Then, number 3, for that one, we're diving all into the technical aspect of it. Use your face and a close-up. So most of the times you'll notice that when you're doing a selfie mode, this way. When you're doing a selfie mode, you kind of feel close to the camera, but some people don't want to feel that close. So they leave it somewhere, or they walk away, or they use a tripod. No, make sure that your face is taking up the majority of the Instagram story screen, because people can feel your emotion, can see your facial gestures, and they will watch more. Do a test. Do a story up close of your face and then do one super far away. You're going to see the difference. Then, second little technical hack. Look at the camera. So, most of the times, and hey, I'm guilty, when we're doing an Instagram story, we don't even notice it, but we're looking at ourselves and not at this little tiny camera that's up here. Well, what happens? When you're actually looking at the camera, it looks completely different as a viewer, as the audience. So next time you're doing an Instagram story, look directly at the camera, okay? Don't look at yourself. I know we often get distracted by making sure that we look good and all that stuff, but look at the camera. Next one, change your location. So on Instagram stories, and honestly on any video, it's a lot better to change your location. I don't necessarily change my location on my YouTube videos because I have a lot of setup and lights and mics that I can't move around. But for Instagram stories, if you follow me, you know that I'm doing an Instagram story as I walk, as I make breakfast, because with movement, people tend to watch more. So it's different if I'm sitting here like this than if I'm sitting here like this because something is grabbing your eye. There's movement in the video. Well, there's a lot more movement if you're standing up, if you're walking, if the lights are changing. So for example, if you're walking from indoors to outdoors, it's an automatic grasp of attention. And with that, we jump into interactive. So just like it's automatically grasping your attention, your stories need to be interactive in order to get more and more views. So how do you make your stories interactive? Well, first of all, you talk about your audience and not about yourself, which you should be doing on all of your content. It's really about them and not really about you. Yes, you tell your stories, but you relate it to them. So a hack that I want you to do is to start using the features that Instagram gives us. For example, questions, polls, quizzes, stickers, GIFs. There's so many different things in order to make our Instagram stories more appealing and in order to get more and more and more views. So I want you to put it to the test. Go ahead and take a picture or a video right now, whichever you prefer, and go ahead and put a little poll. I want you to get in the hang of it. So snap your picture or your video and say, hey, have you watched Laura Gomez on YouTube? And then put yes or no and let your audience answer the poll. With this, you'll notice how many more views you get and how many more interactions you get just because you asked your audience to participate. Now, what other features can we use on Instagram in order to get more views? This is really, really good, so I want you to pay attention. Number one, use up to 10 hashtags. That's right, just like you use hashtags on your Instagram feed, you can use it on your Instagram story. Start typing in your different hashtags and all you have to do is squish it and move it to the side if you don't want it to show up on your actual Instagram story. But Instagram will still see it and they'll still show it to the viewers that are following that specific hashtag. Next, always, always, always use the location feature. I mentioned this before. This is an Instagram hack that not only increases your views on Instagram stories, but also on Instagram feed. On your stories, make sure that you always pick a location. It doesn't necessarily have to be where you currently are. You guys know my hack. I usually go to my audience insights and I check where the majority of my followers are from, and I'll use that in my feed and in my stories. I click on a location and if I don't want it to show, same thing, squish it and move it to the side. But Instagram will still put it on that location story. So more eyes will show up on your Instagram story. Next, we have the hack to tag other people. Not only people that are showing up in your Instagram story, and wait till the end of the video so I can share a little secret with you guys, but you can also tag things that you're using. I shared this before, you can also do it in your Instagram post, but let's say if I want to tag the brand of this furniture, I can tag them in my story and it's a win-win situation if they repost me, because not only is my audience seeing my Instagram story, but their audience is seeing my Instagram story too. So for those of you that have taken that picture, that have followed what I said, I'm going to repost your story onto my story and you'll automatically get more views on your story. People are going to be checking out your profile and hey, You might even grow in your followers if people like and they feel connected to your Instagram profile. So go ahead, if you haven't already, snap that picture and tag me. Now, here's a secret that I want to share with you. If you automatically want to get your Instagram story views to spike up, have more faces on your Instagram story. So for example, if you follow me, you know that I love putting Gabe on my Instagram stories. And after looking at the analytics, when I have other people like Gabe on my Instagram stories, more people watch the Instagram stories and more people watch the whole story completely because they want to know what's going on. They want to know what I'm sharing. They're used to seeing me, but they see another face and they automatically pause and watch the complete thing. So use that. If you have other people near you, then put those other faces on your Instagram story. That's exactly why I also want you to take a picture of the video that you're watching right now, because your audience might not know my face. So when they see my face, it's a different face on Instagram stories. They're already like, hey, who's this girl? This girl isn't the usual girl that I see on this Instagram story. And they'll actually watch it and read what you have to say. So you'll get more views on your story. And hey, if you do this with one of your products, if you do this when you want people to take an action, then it's obviously a win-win case scenario. And with that, I'm gonna jump into the last hack, and I would say the most important, which is to always have a call to action. A call to action basically is if you want them to do a swipe up, if you want them to send you a DM, if you want them to click somewhere, if you want them to go somewhere, if you want them to respond to one of your interactive stories. It's basically telling them what to do. And this has to be on all of your stories. You can't just show up on stories and expect people to take an action, expect people to shop, to go, to click, to DM you, and not tell them to. You have to make sure you tell people exactly what you want them to do. And when you tell them, I promise you, you're going to get more actions. So go ahead, try it today. I want to see how you're changing your Instagram stories. And I want to know how your views are going up, 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 up. I promise you, you'll see a difference. So put all these tips and tricks into place. And of course, check out the other videos if you haven't already, which you should have. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.